Good evening, my beautiful people. Welcome to JTraedz TV, where we discuss all stock-related contents and much more. Yeah, I just got back in, and plus I was just trying to see on how the market was gonna open up not too long ago, because normally around this time we see some type of reaction. I wanted to see whether it was gonna gap up or actually gap back down underneath that 653.20 level. We'll jump right into the charts, guys. Let's hear him go over these little briefing recaps and news and so forth, and we'll get it rocking and rolling. See what the market has to offer us for next week. Let's go ahead and dive right into the news, guys. Stock futures are a little change after Trump ultimatum to Iran. Wall Street tries to snap 4 weeks week slide. Stock futures were a little change Sunday night, weighed by the U.S. latest warning against Iran after the major U.S. benchmark post their fourth straight weekly slide. So basically, we're still downtrending. We're still showing some weakness right now, guys, in the market. Basically, is what they're saying. Dow Jones Industrial Average futures traded around the flat line. S&P 500 futures shed 0.1%, and NASDAQ futures pulled back by 0.2%. Let's go ahead and take a dive into our other stuff. Let's go ahead. There was a few things I want to go over too as well. As far as our recaps from Friday, guys, let me bring this up on my end. SPY, we did have an open of 656.51. We had a high of 656.69, a low of 644.72. A close of 648.57 with a volume of 162 million. As far as economic goes, guys, we don't really have no strong ones coming out. Just a few, but not really anything to impact the market in a major way. As far as the level 3 economics, that's going to start Tuesday, March 24th. That's going to be the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI. That's going to be at 9:45. Wednesday, the 25th, we're going to have crude oil inventories. And last but not least, on the 26th, Thursday, we're going to have initial jobless claims. Other than that, there was a few little notes I also added to my little list right now too, guys. Something else I worked on too. I have these little notes. So that's to kind of keep us focused on basically what to expect, what to look forward to, things that needs to happen if we want to definitely see upside in the market. As far as on the market focus, the Federal Reserve voted to hold its key interest rate steady as policymakers navigate their way through higher than expected inflation readings. Mixed signs on the labor market and war. So again, we're still working on trying to get that inflation back down, right? As we speak. Federal Open Market Committee voted 11-1 to keep the benchmark federal funds rate anchored in the range between 3.5% and 3.75%. The committee is strongly committed to supporting the maximum employment and returning inflation to its 2% objective. And as far as upcoming events, guys, we have no major events at this time. As far as earnings goes, I don't see anything really standing out as far as on the earnings side of things. I do see BYND. I know I got a few traders that trade BYND. That's going to be Wednesday after the market close. But other than that, I don't really see anything major as far as earnings go to really stand out. So I'm not really too concerned about that as well. Let's go ahead and close that out. Jump right into our charts, guys, since all of that is out of the way. The main thing I did check though was a few weekly charts. Now I seen with PLTR because I know that is Primo, his baby. So far with PLTR, guys, I do see an inverted cup and handle, and there's a lot of inverted cups I've seen, and we're gonna be bringing them up real shortly. As far as PLTR, so far the range that look like we in right now, and I'm gonna recolor code everything. The tops is around at 161.50, and the bottom's right around at 125.15. Now that was that old resistant area, guys, that now turned into support, thus keeping you in a range. But it also still has this downtrend like setup. Again, we couldn't get back above that 161.50, slowly pulling our way back down into the 150s. We lose that 150, we will be falling right down into the 140s, 130s, and so forth, possibly falling our way back down to these bottoms, especially being underneath that 50-day moving average and the 13 EMA. That's also holding up at strong resistance. So that could be the handle on that cup, and I will go ahead and draw that out. This is so far for now what I see on PLTR. And again, I know this is Primo's baby. So this is what I see so far on this one. So I see the floor level here, right around that 125.15. And if you notice, guys, we have a cup and your handle getting hammered right around that 161.50. Look like it wants to pull back down towards that way. Look like we could fall right back down to the 125.15s. If we do crack and these buyers cannot hold that level, we can find our way back down into the 120s, even into the lower 110s and so forth, where this bad boy will continue on his downtrend path. So that's what I see on PLTR and so forth. So I do see an inverted cup and handle pattern. I do see weakness. Still nothing yet, nothing positive to, basically make buyers confidence to jump back into the, the long side of things. As far as SPY goes, remember guys, how many times we kept talking about this trend line over and over and over? We kept talking about that red trend line, right? That we never broke. And I said it looked like deja vu. It looked like 2021, 2022 when we ran up to that trend line, hit around that 480 and got that nice bearish set off in 2022 where we had the bearish market. We had that nice downtrend setup. And then going into 2023, we wound up creating a cup and handle, breaking through 480, pushing our way up to a new high of day, which is around the 613. 613 got rejected. We wound up pulling back down towards what price point, guys? The old breakout level, which was 480. And not just that, we pulled our way right back down to that green trend line. Notice every time we hit that green trend line, buyer sees an opportunity for a nice demand zone and a nice buying opportunity back to the upside. So notice every time we hit that green trend line, buy step in, buy step in, buy step in, buy step in. And notice that now right here, every time we hit around the red trend line, sell a step in. But notice what we're doing right now. We're making an inverted cup, pulling our way right back down to the 650s. Now being underneath it right now, as of now, look like we are underneath the 650s. Right now, we are already at 646, so we're $4 underneath the 650s. You already notice I have dollar mark, so we're no longer on top of that support line at this time. Remember, last time we hit 650, we bounced. So, but keep in mind, we turn support now into resistance. So every time we hit around 650 before, we would bounce. 650. Bounce. But notice we are underneath 650. We're underneath that half dollar mark, so that's going to be a possible problem for the longs, because that means that now the sellers are going to move down lower and lower. One of the main key areas that we needed to stay on top of that we talked about Friday, which was what? 653.20. So we want to fall back underneath that price point, including the 650. So sellers may start to gear themselves up and move on down, getting ready to set these possible traps that may occur tomorrow from pre-market going into intraday. So again, if those buyers cannot get back above those key levels, 650, 653.20, then we could see some more continuation downside coming. I still think in due time we're going to see that 613. I still think in due time we're going to pull ourselves right to this white line soon, especially with the way everything is going right now with the war. Oil prices are still skyrocketing, and so forth. Nothing positive is coming out at this moment. It seems like the market is still in fear, but I don't think that the market is bearish. I don't think, we're going to get a major sell-off. I think we're just pulling down to a certain key area where buyers can step in, seize an opportunity to buy right back up to the upside. So to me, I don't think the market is bearish just yet. I mean, I still think that we still have room to push our way back up to the upside, but we were due for a pullback because, again, these are weekly candles. And look how many times we kept testing that trend line weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And from what, 2025 going into 2026, we kept hitting this trend line till it got weaker and weaker. And it just exhausted itself out at that trend line. And now we're pulling back. So what needs to happen? We need to pull back down to a strong demand zone where we can have more buyers step in and go for a harder push. Think about it. Look what happened back here around that price point of 613. We got exhausted. We couldn't break out. So what happened? We fell from 613, fell all the way back down towards where? 480. Buyer seized an opportunity, pushed that bad boy right back to the upside. Finally broke the 613, created a new high, which is now up towards the 697, 698. So from 697, 698 area, where did we pull back down to? 650, right? That's creating a cup because you're starting to arc on down. Now being underneath that 650, we could see more downside. If we cannot get back above 650, guys, would it be the next possible area where we can pull back down to? Possibly. We can pull back down to that old new breakout area right here, which is going to be around where? 613. So buyers may seize that as a buying opportunity because, again, they will be turning resistance now into a possible strong support and strong demand and also a strong buying opportunity to push back up. Same as that they did at 480. They seized an opportunity, they bought back in, pushed that bad boy right back on up, broke through that resistance, and created new high of day. So I'm thinking that a rinse and repeat could happen now with the 613, where we could pull back down to that 613 level, buyer seized an opportunity, and strongly push its way back up. So I think in due time, again, if we can't get back above that 650, I do think that we could pull back down to those areas soon. So keep that in mind. And again, even on the weekly time frame, what do we have? We have an inverted cup. Let's see what other ones I seen too that show the cup and handle pattern inverted. I think it was QQQs, I think, that I seen as well that was setting up, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was QQQs. QQQs, yep, QQQ, same exact thing. So if you notice, QQQ is making a what? Inverted cup. Inverted cup. So basically underneath, what price point is that? That 580. If they crack that 580, yes, we do have room to fall, possibly fall back down to the 560s and so forth. Because therefore, you'll be underneath that 50 SMA. So not only you'll be losing the 13, you also will be losing what price point? You will be losing that 50 SMA, which is at where? 574. What we at right now with QQQ at this moment? Let me take a look real quick. Where's QQQ sitting at right now? We right by it. So right now we're at what, 578. That 50 moving average is at 574. Still don't look good. I mean, it still looks a little weak, at this moment. But we'll definitely keep our eyes peeled going into tomorrow to see what these buys are going to do versus what the sellers are going to do. So with that being said, we should be seeing a gap up on VIX then. Yep. I didn't see. No, it's not showing anything on VIX yet. Pretty sure it's going to show a gap up tomorrow. Pretty sure of that. Let's see, coin, how we looking on coin? Coin fell all the way back down towards the 190s, 192, right in that little area. That's still showing signs of weakness, so everything is still looking weak at this time, guys. Because I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of coin flip. Once we closed over the, Friday going into the weekend, I was watching this level because I was asking myself right here. I'll say, okay, when everything does open back up, will we remain on top of 653.20 and possibly see a bounce back to the upside towards that 656, or could we gap down and lo and behold, look what happened? You gapped on down underneath that 653.20 area that we needed to stay on top of. Again, turning resistance back into resistance, dropping your way back down to these low key areas. Remember that force that on SPY, that 644 area, 644.70 area, that's around the 50 where the 50 SMA is at. So we go back a little bit. That's why you got a strong bounce Friday before the market closed, because you caught a bounce right off the 50 SMA. So you see right here, I think it moved up a little bit too. I think it moved up in the 90s, didn't it? Yeah, 40. Well, no, it went down a little bit. So 43.95. So that's why we got a bounce Friday before the close. They utilized that 50 SMA and tried to push their way back up to the 650s. But if you notice, they didn't hold. We still look like we're still falling. It still look like we're still cupping on down. So with this being said, if buyers don't step in, we could see more downside coming. And based off of the 1 hour time frame, I'm sorry, not the 1 hour, but the weekly time frame, we're still not yet overbought. So if you notice, I'm not overbought, oversold. We're still not yet oversold. So if you notice, I mean, last time we hit the oversold area, that's when we fell all the way back down to 480. When buyers seized that opportunity and did what? Bounced their way right back up to the upside and then pushed us all the way back up to the overbought. So with this being said, based off the weekly time frame and the weekly RSI, it looked like we haven't got oversold just yet. Well, it looked like it could again fall back down to an oversold position, especially once that RSI cracks underneath that 40, back down into the 30s. Then we could definitely see that. But it looked like in order for us to get to that oversold area, SPY needs to possibly pull right back down to that old breakout area of 613. So that's where it looked like that oversold area, or that buying position where they may see that buying opportunity at, is like right back down here, right around that 613-ish level. So I'm gonna definitely keep my eyes peeled. As the weekend transcends and we see what's gonna occur over this weekend. Because again, we don't have any major economic data coming out. So the only thing that's really gonna be based off of what the market's gonna be based off of is momentum and whatever comes out of Donald Trump's mouth this week. So we'll have to see on what's gonna take place with the war. What's gonna be said, whether it's gonna be cause a positive impact or even more of a negative impact, causing the market to drop down even lower. So, but right now, the way that we are heading, it looks very weak, and it looks like we could definitely see more downside to come. I mean, because the inverted cup has already formed. I mean, we already came back down to the 650s, cracked 650s, and if the buyers cannot get back above that 650 area, those more sellers may move in, may pile in to protect that 650 area, and then what's going to happen from there? We possibly need to pull back down even further. So, I mean, a true area I do see of a strong demand zone, a strong area where buyers may seize an opportunity right back down to that old breakout area of 613. But we'll keep everything on watch, guys, to see what's going to take place. And like I said, if we do get another leg on down, that'll be your second leg down. If that does occur, that should drop that RSI, weekly RSI, back down to that oversold area, back down into these areas, which would be a good sign for buying opportunities. So that'll be a good thing. So we'll definitely keep our eyes peeled on that. Right now, they are trying to utilize that 644. 72 right here level, this bottom. Once again, they're trying to use that as the double bottom to bounce their way back to the upside. But we're going to watch this range to see on how we're going to come out of this range. Whether, we're going to get that push back above that 653.20 or fall back underneath the 644.70 level. Also, let me go to the 1 hour time frame too, just to verify a few things. Let's see. Tesla, look at Tesla. Look at this. Tesla's still falling. I mean, I already had mapped out everything, but look right now. We're falling underneath the levels I did have. So it look like we still hitting new lows. So definitely keep your eyes peeled on that. Next level on down with Tesla, look like where we at right now. It's 364. If we can't get above that 365, we could be pulling right back down to the 362.50s. From 362.50 down back to the 360s itself. And this bad boy does still look like it's continuing on a downtrend setup at this time. So we'll definitely see on how Monday is going to pan out. SPY, all we did was bounce off that same key area from Friday, right before Friday's close. Same little key area right here, guys. Right here where I got my line charted at. That was right where they got that bounce off that 50 SMA. Right around 644.72. So it looks like they're trying to hold that as a bottom. Buyers are trying to hold this area right here. But if we do crack that, more downside is coming. So it looks like more downside is coming. We could create even new lower lows. So just keep that on watch. So if buyers cannot get back above the crucial areas that we need, 650, 653.20, we can definitely see more downside coming. So just keep your eyes peeled on that, guys. So look like we're still in this little bearish setup from the week that just passed, or this week that's right here, going into the new week, which it look like it's still creating a downtrend setup. So we're gonna see on how this level is gonna pan out going into Monday. Whether it's gonna hold pre-market going into intraday and try to move his way back on up, or will we crack below the 644.72s to even lower price points? And if we do, we already know that this area is going to turn into resistance, so we can utilize that for even more downside. So that means that even if we crack 644.72 and pull back down into the 640s, 637s, whatever the case may be, to bounce back on up, what's going to be that intended target, the new intended top, 644.72. Why? Because you're turning support now into resistance. Right now, as long as it holds on top of this, yeah, it's going to be considered support. But once we crack that, you already know what time it is. That means that some old support is going to do what? Turn into possible resistance, where we can see more downsides and even more of a deeper pullback. So right now, at this moment, buyers are trying to stay on top of the 644.72, but we know we need to get our way back above the 650s and 653.20s to try to get a little bit of a pushback to the upside. But we'll keep our eyes peeled, guys, going into pre-market and intraday. This year, we're going to see some type of rotation from the bottoms of the 644.72s back into the 650s, 653s, and so forth. So we'll see how we're going to pan out going into tomorrow. So the strongest top I have as of now, it's going to be around the 656.80. Remember, we were talking about that a while back, guys. 656.80. We utilized that price point before. I think that was where we had caught that buy at. Yeah, that's where we caught that buy at when we went on that nice little squeeze. So 656.80, that's when we had that nice little bounce, and we played the long side on that. Up towards the 661.15 up to 662. But then we wound up falling back on down, cracking the 656.80s, and then down towards the 644s. So we're going to have a lot of resistance above our heads, in other words, guys. So we're going to have to deal with a lot of that before anything else, guys. So we're going to have to we got to climb a long ways before we do anything. Other than that, guys, like I said, I just wanted to do a little brief setup with you guys. I'm gonna do some more research over over tonight to see on how to prepare ourselves for tomorrow. Whether we're gonna create more downside, or where buyers may try to find a way to push their way back above 650, 653, and so forth. Right now, the only range I see at this time is that 644.72 bottoms, and this top area right around the 656.80. And we know that the 650, 653.20 is going to be a little crucial area as well. So we know we're going to have a lot of resistance, to deal with. We are. Even your indicators. Your 9 MAs, your 20 MAs, your 50 SMAs. Everything including the price points. So unless buyers come in with a strong movement back to the upside, it seemed like more downside could occur. I mean, it seemed like we're going to definitely keep our eyes peeled to see if those sellers are going to try to create a big bull trap back, and a pull back down to the downside. So we're going to keep our eyes peeled on that to see where we go tomorrow. But other than that, guys, if y'all don't have anything, any questions, any comments or concerns, anything, guys, I'm going to go ahead and leave you guys be so you guys can enjoy the rest of you guys' nights. Netflix, chill, go eat, chill, just relax. And I'm going to do as much more research as I can, and I will prep you guys up tomorrow, and we'll see on how next week is going to start off. But other than that, guys, for those who did come in, man, thank y'all so much. I definitely appreciate you. I just wanted to come in, do a little brief commentary real quick, get everybody set up to date on what's going on. And like I said, the reason why I got on the live late, because I wanted to see what was going to happen right around that 53.20. Whether, because normally, like I said, over the weekends or like on Sundays like this, we normally see something. So that's why I wanted to see if, we was going to get hold that 653.20 and push up, or were we going to come back underneath. And sure enough, I was waiting on that confirmation that we fell back underneath the 53.20. So we're back underneath that. That's back to resistance. So I just wanted to do that before I did an early live, before anything took place, so everybody could see it in real time. So we know that we back underneath the 653.20s, down towards the 644.72. That was Friday bottoms. So we know where the bottoms are located, and we know where the major top is at, which is around 656.80. These tops here, and then we got like these little midsection here. But if buyers can get back on top of the 653.20, after that we need to break back above what price point? 656.80 for that continuation push towards 660. But other than that, guys, that should be it for right now. I will keep you guys updated on everything else. We'll keep it rocking and rolling. But that's all I see for right now. I mean, but everything else, I think it should be weak. I mean, Meta, everything else look like it's, let me go to it. So even Meta still downside. We still falling down on that one. Fell right back underneath 600s, down into the 590s, with room to possibly fall all the way back down to the 580s. So that's still looking bad. So I mean, right now I just don't see no long opportunities just yet. I mean, right now everything is still pulling. Everything is still pulling, man. Everything's still looking weak right now. Apple's falling back down towards the 247s down to 246. That's still showing downside right now. Still on a downtrend step. So guys, all of these are still looking weak at this moment, So I do think that more downside will occur. I mean, and look at Nvidia. Nvidia got even on 1 hour got a huge look at this. Huge inverted cup and handle. Look at this. Found your way all the way back down to 173, back below 173. That already created an inverted cup and handle. So that all still looks weak right now. But other than that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and, again, do some more research tonight. Like I said, just keep your eyes peeled on that 644.72s with these top areas right around the 653.20s up to 656.80s. So we know where the top areas where sellers could be sitting at. So if buyers so happen to push their way back up, look to see if these sellers are going to try to protect right around this little key area to see if there's going to be a supply zone, pretty much. If this is going to be a supply zone right in this area, where they will try to block buyers, prevent them from breaking out. But we'll keep everything on watch. But other than that, man, shout out to everybody. Thank y'all so much. Like I said, I know it was a brief little commentary, but if I did earn you guys support, your respect, man, do feel free to hit that subscribe button, guys, to my YouTube channel. If y'all already subscribed, you already know what else to do. Hit the thumbs up. Let's get the likes up and running, guys, because those algorithm goes a long way as far as the channel, because we're trying to expand to help other people. And I thank y'all so much for your love and support already. Thank y'all, man. If you're on Twitch and Kick, follow or subscribe to avoid the ads. But other than that, man, guys, thank you guys so much. Please enjoy the rest of you guys, night. I will see you guys tomorrow for Monday, and we're going to keep it rocking and rolling. You already know what I'm about to say before I head on out. Maximize your reward. Minimize your risk. Always put great over greed, and you will succeed every single time. Till then, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow for Monday. Let's get it rocking and rolling, guys. Love y'all. Peace.